So for the base plate, using circular pattern is really not an option here due to the fact that this base section is not a square. What we will do is we'll create a plane down the middle, create one rib, and we can mirror it to the other side. Then we'll come back to the other plane, put a plane down the middle, create the rib, and mirror it to the other side. So this one is in inches. It does have a counterbore hole. And again, we'll add depth to the rib. There are no fillets, and for this one, material is actually not specified, so we won't have any machined surfaces either. 4 holes equally spaced, 62 in and 62 over. We do have a counterbore. The counterbore depth. Being that this is only one hole, I would not go through the process of using the hole tool. The smaller diameter is through all, and the counterbore diameter is only 0.12. So we will end up with an end product like this. So being that it is not a square, circular pattern for the ribs is not an option that we can use here. So a new part in inches. I would start with creating the base. And to lay out the circles, I'm going to create another rectangle. So I can place these circles that are all the same size for the holes and then set them equal. So I have a longer length of 4 inches, a shorter length of 3.5, and our holes are 0.62 in on both sides. That sets the distance or the placement for the holes, and now for the hole size itself, 0.5, and I'm going to set these all equal instead of dimensioning each one individually. There is the center bore, which you could put on a while, which is a diameter of 0.75. So just the base thickness, which is 0.38. I am given the overall height of 2.62, and I already have the base thickness, so I will have to subtract to get the overall height. And that center bore is 0.75, and the outer diameter is 1.75. My bores aren't lining up. Let's go back and double check that. Yeah. So since I already have a base thickness and I want a total height of 262, so 2.62 minus 0.38 will now give me an overall height of 262. I'm going to finish off the counterbore. This outside diameter is 1.25 at 0.12 depth of cut, minus 0.12 to the ribs. Creating a plane down the middle, or I could reference the origin, because I started with my center rectangle. I could reference the origin, but I'm going to look at adding the midplane by selecting 2 opposing faces. I get a plane down the middle. I'm going to sketch on this plane. The fact that we're going to mirror this later, I will need to reference the other plane as well. Let's put one rib on for right now. I will need to create coincident constraints. They're locked in, and I'm going to turn this into a rib with thickness. The fact that this is coming to this curved surface, there's not a surface to stop, constrain the rib. So we're going to create the rib. in a solid. We know the width of the rib is 0.25. As you can see, it's going over the object. So we're going to say depth. And honestly, I don't know what it is. I'm just going to start by putting in like 1 inch. 175. It's a solid. If you go up a little more, that works. So I'll wait till I create the other plane so I can mirror this to the other side, which I'm going to do now. So if I create the plane for this rib, I can create a sketch. Again, left or right side is not going to matter. Coincident. Lock it to that vertice, and I will turn this into a rib with depth. Same width. We're just going to add a depth. Let's go in the wrong direction. Flip. Since these planes already exist, I can reference them when I go to mirror. I'm going to mirror a feature. The rib is a feature, and I'm going to reference plane 2 to create the rib on the opposing side. And now I will mirror this rib based on this plane to the other side, and I will hide both construction planes. No fillets, materials not specified. There you have the base plate.